Hi guys. Okay, so my replacement light seers came today and I decided to do an unboxing. I did not do an unboxing with the first one that I purchased, and I was actually kind of glad because I was kind of confused thinking, was it a mistake? Did they put I don't know, some kind of sample cards in there that weren't they were just so flimsy and stuff. So let's check these out. They weren't supposed to come until February, so this is a lovely surprise. Oh yeah. So much better. They're all the same size. All the way around. And they don't have, my first deck was, what is this? That's just the print. I'm trying to figure out what that, Polly, stop it. The first deck was, half of the deck was, a bit higher than the other. So it was they were cut two different sizes. And then up here it was like they were in a press, as far as I don't know if they punched them out with a press, but a lot of the decks were folded. And then there was all the way from to the middle of the deck, it seemed like the cards had a crease in them, where cards were folded. Let's see here. Oh, I hate the stupid things they put. See, just this thin paper did this already to the card. Yeah, it's still it's actually, sorry guys. I am just, yeah. Oh, we've got the folded thing down here on the bottom. I don't know if Hay House changed the way they're, the way they cut their decks. I just purchased, or actually I didn't purchase it. The Hay House promised the replacement deck to come in February, and they also credited $10 to everyone. So with my $10, I put that towards this Quantum Oracle, which is Hay House. And that one was also that weird, just kind of the weird edges where they're not. And it's kind of the same cardstock, where I wish I'm just trying to see if this, I don't think the cardstock's any different. Where is that one? It's right here. Let me grab this Quantum Oracle. So this use this. I think this is the same cardstock. It's very cardboardy, but not chunky cardboardy like shoot, I really don't. I mean, I guess you can take a black Sharpie, you know, but is that? It's just, you know, you get a little jiggity as far as the cut. The artwork is beautiful, and it's a deck that I like the modern feel. I like the colors, the vibrant colors. The artwork is beautiful. So it's a deck that I know that I'm going to want forever. And that's, I guess, why it could be disappointing as far as you can hear the do I have a piece of just cardboard somewhere, like as far as I'm trying to see if I have any packaging or something around here. So let's make sure. See right here, that I don't know if my lighting is going to help me. Oh, lovely. There's like a bend right here, which I haven't bent this. This just came out of the box. So if I'm shuffling these, they are not going to last. Not anywhere close to as long as I would like. So I think you can get away with this feel of card, like as far as the material and the feel, if you do it thicker, but then those are some that people don't like as far as the chunky block, you know, they feel like they're trying to shuffle chunky blocks. So I think if you're trying to go thin like this, which it's not thin, it's just not strong. Here we've got, this one has like I don't know, some sort of like something pushed, you know, like if you were to push your nail into it or something like that. The quality, I mean, there's no bent ones. They're not folded and stuff like that. So I'm assuming this is kind of what I was expecting to get, because I was assuming, well, at first I was assuming that, I mean, the cardstock was like, how is, you know, the whole thing was a mistake. I was disappointed in the cardstock alone before I even noticed that they weren't cut correctly and that they were folded. So getting the replacement deck being that same cardstock, but yet they're all cut. I mean, it is rectified, but if you're a deck creator, buy this deck so you can feel this cardstock and then don't use this cardstock. It's for the amount of money that, I mean, this isn't, I get this isn't an indie deck. This is, you know, supposedly affordable because it's mass market and stuff. But if you're looking at the, I don't know what it is. It's paper, it's cards. You know, you can buy a deck of cards for what, $5. Granted, these have nicer boxes. They have a book. They're, you know, there's a lot of art that goes into them and things like that. I don't know. I just think that it's something that you want to be able to use and you want it to last. So I don't know, like, playing cards last because that was a perfected thing. I would love for any tarot cards to be made with playing card material because it's thin, but it's durable. I was trying to find, I think you can see it more on the backs of these were odd. Some of them had, I'm sorry for the noises. Hopefully you're not hearing all the craziness that's going on out in my living room. Oh, here's the, like there's a line through it. Right here. Where it's almost like an indent of a card laying over top, or maybe like whatever the press thing is pressed into. And then there's lines here. Just some of the cards have like just weird, where they were like scratched or impressed in, I don't know, like almost embossing into them or something. And then like this card here, it's so hard to get the, right there, that it's cardboard. It's, you know, like I have some cards that have that, like these that were kind of this one where it's folded and, you know, like wrinkled and stuff. So I don't know. It's the exact same cardstock. It's the exact same cutting manner too, as far as this. This is rectified as far as being cut all the same, and then they're not folded. Like they're not bent. There's not a crease going down the center of them. So they're not damaged. But the quality still is see, this is how my other deck was. It's not as bad, but this is a brand new, you know, I just received this. It's fairly brand new to me. I've only used it a handful of times, and if this is what's gonna happen, I mean, you don't want that happening to your cards. It's cardboard, okay? I don't know. I was saying before, it reminds me of the stuff that is, you know, when you buy a pair of women's heels, like women's shoes, or I don't know, even, and they have that cardboard that goes around the heel or in the upper part to hold, you know, hold the shape of the shoe. It's just, you know, they put it in the shoe to hold the shoe there. That's, I mean, it's cardboard that people throw in the trash. It's not cards. Like, what is this deck here? I mean, this stuff is matte but durable. It has like some kind of coating or something. I mean, this has some kind of shine or something, but they're totally different. It's a totally different feel. And I mean, if we want to go, oh shoot, what is that? Like this deck here is the Vision Quest, and it's like playing cards. you know, so it's thin, but it's not going to have folds in it. It's not going to have like frayed edges or anything like that. It's thin. You can totally, you know, you're not. And then, so I prefer that. There are other decks that if I can't have that, then I might as well get, well, I don't know, you guys, this is pretty thin. This, what is this? The Psychic Tarot. So I guess maybe feeling it, it feels, actually this feels thicker. Is it just because, why does it feel like this is going to be more damaged? Because this has more of a coating on it, like the, you know, like, because this I've had for a long time. Well, not long, but I've used the heck out of it. And I don't know if it's the coating. Like, I'm not concerned about having a weird fold or something in the cards. Because there's like, they just feel sturdier, but they're actually, wow, these do feel really thin. I think maybe I was thinking they were the chunky ones because they are so big as far as, you know, when you're trying to shuffle, and then the gilding on them and stuff like that. But, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of seeing a mark, you know, some marks on these, I guess, from where I put my crystal in. Maybe I don't want to do that with the crystal there and stuff. Well, maybe they will last. Maybe I'm just thinking that the feel of them, because they do feel more like, you know, the plastic, like where it's not even plastic though. It's like just, it's, I don't know why there's like, right in his hand, there's like a, see the dent, like almost like a pen pushed on it or something. I don't know, it's weird. All right, so maybe I should give these a shuffle. I love this deck too. It's the Quantum Oracle. It's the deck that I purchased with my credit for the damaged thing, the damaged light seers. And it has different things, like there's a set of cards that are about events. There's a set of cards about people, about spirit, consciousness, intention. And it just, I don't know. I like it. I like it a lot. But it's going to be one that I'm going to want to use forever. And I don't like the fact that, you know, they are going to turn out how it would be if you're shuffling cardboard a lot. Basically, I guess the long story short is I've had these way longer, and I feel like these have more wear and tear on them when I just got those. So if that's making any sense. So I'm kind of wanting to see here. Okay. I don't know what color I will edge these. I was thinking I would do like the teal or the green, since I did the, where is my first one? This is my original one that I was showing you guys how I laminated it. I trimmed it all the same size, right? And trimmed it the same size for the most part. I mean, it's never perfect when you have to retrim it yourself. And then edged it, and well, I laminated first. And And then you run it back through the laminator so that it kind of reseals the edges, because from trimming, when you trim the lamination, it can, because I'm trimming through, I don't leave the sealed edge, so that then I edged it. So this one will last because it's laminated. However, these are super stiff, like it's hard to shuffle, you know, just because they kind of bowed a little bit as well, like the deck does one of these. So, and then if we, let's see, put the whole deck together and compare, this is the size difference now as far as the trimming, and then the thickness. It did add quite a bit, you know, but I guess with it being shorter, it's okay to handle because it's not as wide or long. And let's see, I did want to see these when they came too, because when they were uneven, you could see that the backs were uneven as well. So these, anyway, I don't want to be too picky here, but so I want to be able to shuffle it. So I don't think I'm going to laminate this new deck as far as that goes. Let me get some of this out of my way. So this deck is very thick. I'm trying to shuffle. I can shuffle it, but I have to almost split the deck and do it in two parts and then kind of bring them together. And I can, and as you can hear, you know, like I was saying, I think in the, when I was giving you guys the information on how I did this, I was saying that it kind of reminds me of the, what is it? The Good Tarot, you know, because that some of the decks seem like, you know, they're made that way where it's laminated or whatever, but I wish this was a little, that was the thinnest pouches for the laminating machine as well, I think, the 3mm. So if there was something thinner, then it would be perfect, because you could, and I mean, I guess I don't necessarily like the shine too. I don't know. All right. It's a really thick deck for how, I don't want to keep using the word flimsy, because it is thicker actually than this, or it feels maybe the same. It's weird. It's very weird, but it is all the same size, and it's hard to even grab this deck and split it. I actually never did it with this one because I was so worried at bending it or ruining it or something, that I never shuffled that one until I was done modifying it. Now, it's so weird that there's these weird, there's like, all right, let's see. Yeah, I don't want to do like the bridge thing where you're, you know, you push them back together or I will bend them. Gosh. Trying to see what we got here. Anyway, so, because I have my light on, right? This is the deck that's the matte finish. This is the new one with the matte finish. It still shines. So to add that protective coating that these have, it just all depends on the angle that you hold it. It's not like, because everybody's like, oh, I don't like the shiny. I mean, maybe that's because of if it's too slippery, but I don't know. I guess we are all have our, you know, personal taste as far as what where is he at? I just saw that. Well, of course I'm not going to be able to find it. There we go. Laminated? Not laminated. See that? Huh. I actually might do something where if I put these, I'm going to probably do a whole video for it because I learned a trick with my laminator as well. With the pouches, if you put, you know, two pieces of paper together and you laminate it and then you cut the seam where it seams together, then you can pull it apart to where you only have the clear lamination on the one side and then the other side of your paper that was in between is still, I think I might do that, you guys. Do I do it to the back or the front of the card? Or do I do it to a deck that I don't? Oh, see? I've shuffled these once. I've got to, right. I'm looking in this area right here. It is, got that, yeah, right there. One shuffle, and that's the, oh man, you guys. I was seeing posts where people are like, oh, I got my replacement deck and it's perfect. Or I lucked out and happened to, you know, like when they weren't even sending the replacements. I wouldn't say this is perfect. It's perfect as, I don't know. Darn. So I'm trying to decide. I don't want to laminate the whole card like I did this deck because I don't want it to get even thicker, but I want it to not be damaged, or so I think I might actually laminate the front, like lay these down with paper, run it through the laminator, cut it, pull the paper off. This is going to have the protection on it, which will give it more protection this way as well. And then the back will be more of a matte. I know a lot of people do backings on the back to give it more protection, but I feel like I'm almost, I don't like how I want to, this is what I want to protect. You know, I could always reback them later if this started getting weird, or because it is black, I could touch it up with, you know, a Sharpie or something. So yeah, that's the plan, I guess, before I start using these ones. I don't want to shuffle these anymore. Oh, you guys, do you see that? Please tell me you see this. It's cardboard. It's cardboard. It's a thick deck. You wouldn't think that, but it's something about the density of it or something. I don't know. I've rambled on here for over 30 minutes about this, but I guess I don't know. Keep yourself posted, because I want to use this very badly. And I'm happy that this will probably last for a very long time. It's very sturdy, very sturdy. However, it is almost too thick or sturdy for my liking. So I think if I do this, how I was saying, it's going to be perfect. Hoping. I just can't believe that this actually gives more sheen or shine reflecting from my light than this does. Like, you can, you know, the colors are very vibrant, and it's so it must be that people they don't like the shine because the cards feel like they're flying all over the place, that they're I don't know. Where is that other thing? Oh, it's right here. So here's another thing that I did that I should have done a video on. So this deck is not even a deck. This is contact paper with laminating over it. It's supposed to look like wood. And this is the Everyday Witch. Comes with an awesome book. An awesome book that I looked over, you know, like, I don't know, read for the most part, and thought, okay, look at the artwork. It had full size, the whole deck, full size cards, the full thing. It doesn't have them marked. It actually had like a little quote or something. So I first, when I kind of took a razor blade to that deck or that book, I have the deck. However, I don't like the backs of the cards. The backs of the cards are, I don't know. It's the broom with the cat and the stars. They're not reversible, so you can't do reversals. And I really don't like, I love this part. I just don't like the back of the decks. So, but I do like that cardstock, however. So I kept thinking, okay, people contact paper the back of that deck. How do I do that? So I was trying different ways. but that deck is already pretty thick and it's shiny, and I'm like, I just didn't want to have to like cut into my actual like everyday witch to get the contact paper to match up or whatever. And then I remembered I had razor blade, you know, cut these out of my book so that I was going to frame them. I love the art. I mean, you know, I purchased the deck. I have the deck, but and it comes with the book, but basically it's like you get a whole nother deck if you do something like this. Now you can take like what is his name? Ramblin'. He does that too, where he'll take a razor blade to the book to create, you know, like either if it's just the minor or majors of the cards or something. Is it Ramblin'? I'm wanting to say Ramblin' Mike, but I don't know if that's right. I'll have to put a comment, put his name in the comments. But he'll do a way where you can get more of a cardstock, and he does like a adhesive or something and puts the artwork on that, so they're actual cards. I just basically took my artwork from the book and stuck them to face up on, I took my roll of contact paper and put the cards on, and then trimmed them the size of my pouch. The pouch is like the size of a piece of paper, so I could do like 5, 6 cards at a time. Ran it through the laminating machine and then cut them out. So these, I mean, if you want to talk about they are very flimsy and stuff, but they're not, you know, because of the laminating. I mean, but it's not like I read jumpers, so I mean, you can shuffle them, but I get the idea of them being super slippery. Like some of them you're going like this, and then if you lose them, they start going, you know, like sliding around everywhere. So I get that. I get we don't want them to be super slippery where they're sliding around on the table or out of our hands. But I mean, decks of cards aren't flying out of people's hands or sliding off tables. They're decks of cards, and that's what they're made for, like that, for a reason, because that's the, you know, don't fix it if it's not broken. Why are we not doing tarot cards in that same, I don't know. I think you get what I'm saying, but anyway, I think I might actually start on this now, because I want to use this. So I will kind of get my system going to where, oh, I'm nervous. I need to make sure that I wish there was like, you know how sometimes they put like a couple extra cards in there I wish there was extra cards in there, but, yeah, so I'm gonna, I mean, I've done it before because I know once you cut that seam, then it's not seamed anymore. So you actually don't want to, like if I was going to say, oh, I don't like the backs of these, but I wanted to laminate them, and I put like 2 pieces of paper, you know, put this on paper. That's why I had to actually do this, because I was thinking about using cardstock, but I was like, well, how, once I cut it, because I knew I didn't want the edge, because that's always sharper when you keep that seamed edge. That seamed edge seems very sharp, instead of cutting through the seamed edge. I was gonna, you know, run it through the laminator, and then I'm like, well, once I cut it, you'll be able to peel them apart. They won't stay together. So the contact paper actually has adhesive, so it sticks, but I do almost wish I would have I do actually have cardstock paper as well. So I almost wish I would have somehow got cardstock, maybe, I don't know, maybe put this on the cardstock paper and then, but you know how thick that would have been with the laminating on both sides. But I don't think when I don't know. Maybe that's why I didn't do it, because of how sturdy these are. I use these. So now I have 2 decks of these. I'm not worried about this deck, the original deck. Let me get it. I'm not worried about it not lasting though, because I like that cardstock. Okay. This is the Everyday Witch. So, I mean, I guess that has that raised up, like how they press it in. Oh my gosh. And this isn't really thick. This actually feels thicker. It's just the coating on them. This, oh, maybe that's why the artist or whoever decides, the creator decides. I mean, because I don't think we're saying Hay House, you know, I don't think it's Hay House that chooses the paper that's used, because Hay House uses different, you know, like they use something different for the Work Your Light Oracle cards, and that's Hay House. So maybe the creator knows that people don't want them super shiny, because I think that could have been a thing with this deck where people were like, oh, I don't like, you know, but that is wild because it feels so sturdy. But it's actually thinner. This is actually thicker and feels like it could be more, like this doesn't have any damage. I've had this one the longest out of all of them, and they're just, I mean, they're vibrant and they look brand, I mean, people love this deck, or they maybe don't care for it because of the cardstock, but I think it's just, I can shuffle this any way I want, but the backs you can't do reverse, and it's a little too kitschy for me, I guess you'd say, but I love the, you know, and it's very Rider Waite, so it's not like I need the this on here. There is a bit, you know, you do want to be careful if you do take that idea of cutting it out of the book and it not having the thing on there. Some of these, the pages and the aces in this deck look similar, because the aces usually don't have a person in them. Like this is the Ace of Cups, but that could be mistaken for the Page of Cups if we don't have the labels on there. But there are a little extra things to where you know that it is the ace and not the page. See, this is the page and this is the Ace of Cups. There's more like magic or something going on in the aces. I don't know. I like this cardstock. Let me know if you guys, what you guys think of the, well, like why the matte finish, because almost like it's so matte that it's too much like cardboard, or it is, you know, like it doesn't have that protection on it, that we might be doing ourselves a disservice by saying or complaining that we don't like glossy cards because they're too slippery, and then we're end up getting something that really is actually thicker. Like, you know, it's not like the creator's trying to be cheap, or, you know, I think the creator's trying to give us what we want. So I'm just wondering why why we are wanting what we are wanting, guys, because we might be doing ourselves, you know, like I said, a disservice for not wanting them to have that protection on them. So I'm going to be doing some modifications, and I will see you guys very soon. Thank you for all the love and support, and I will definitely be sharing how this turns out and the shuffling and all that great stuff.